Hi, it's Carrie. In today's 5-Minute Friday, I'm going to show you how to put together a really quick drug search using PubMed's Mesh, Embase's Emtree. And if you don't have access to Embase, then I've done another video on drug resources. There are lots of other drug resources openly available on the web, but this is using PubMed and Embase. And I've opened up a blank Word document, and in my browser, I've opened up PubMed and Embase. So let's go to Mesh, the medical subject heading database, and today I'll be using amoxicillin. This is the one that I want, the broadest one. We'll click on that and we'll take a look. Introduced in 1980 with indexing going back to 1975. Entry terms are synonyms, previously indexed as ampicillin and penicillin, and it is not the narrowest term on the tree. There's another narrower term, and so we would need to capture these terms too. Let's start here. I'm going to copy that and put it in my Word document with no formatting. I'm going to grab that subject heading. If you didn't want that, you would no explode your term. We're going to go back to the broadest one here, which is amoxicillin, and we are going to grab that subject heading as well. I like to keep the subject headings at the top and the keywords below. Copy these as well and paste these as well. They are not the same thing. I think one might be more veterinary, but I really don't know. Maybe you know. So this is PubMed's Mesh and the entry terms that came from that. Now we'll go to Embase, we'll go to Emtree, and we'll look up amoxicillin. Here it is. And what we want are these synonyms. There are 234, and I'll copy them. Go to the Word document, and down at the end, the bottom, I will paste them. I don't want this formatting yet. I'm going to copy it all and replace single quote or single quote with shift 6, which is caret P, which is a hard return. And then I'm going to get rid of quotes. There's a couple hidden in there, and we'll get rid of those. Okay. Now, we're going to take the whole list up to the subject headings. And the Mesh database always introduces 4 spaces that I don't like. We're going to get rid of those. I like everything to be lowercase, that's just my preference. And we're going to sort A to Z. Now, these special characters are not going to do any favors for a database. You can test it, replace with spaces, or you can get rid of it. And now we're going to go through here and get rid of duplicates. Most databases will read the hyphen as a space, so I'm going to replace them with spaces for the most part and test later. I'm going to stick with amoxi because a couple of these terms have amoxi as a prefix. So I'm just going through and kind of making a judgment based on what I see. Amoxicillin will return all of these phrases. We're going to get rid of those. Amoxil will return these phrases. We'll get rid of those. We'll get rid of these. Now, that might be one word. We can go back and add those in. When you think of drugs and compound words, you have to think about, would this show up as one word or two or both? And you can fix that. That's completely within your power to do. Clamoxyl, we'll get these. I saw clavulinate a lot. We'll just keep that. Comoxiclav. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Don't need these. So you see it's a bit tedious. And you may have a search where you've got 8, 9, 10 or more drugs, and that's where it gets really difficult. Really difficult and tedious. We're just doing one drug. We have clavulinate, so we'll get rid of that. We already have clamoxyl. All right, it's looking pretty good. If I had more time, I might go over it again and, things like this. Macromox. I don't know. You never know. You just don't know. So, we'll highlight all of this up to the subject headings. Oh, I think I saw a duplicate in there. Oh well. We're going to replace now the hard returns, which is caret P with quote TW or quote. And then we need to fix the beginning and the end. So my mesh terms are up here. And it is now a complete search. Let me check the end. Whoop. Let's add a quote. See, this is where it's easy to make mistakes. And now it should be ready. Copy. Go over to PubMed. And we'll say PubMed. We'll paste it. Now you're doing this in combination with another concept, I hope. But we got 43,029 results. It says we did not find these words, these phrases. That's okay. They just were not in PubMed. And we're going to keep them in there because they may be found in other resources. But you should always check under advanced and your search details and make sure that they weren't found because it truly wasn't found and not because you made a mistake. It looks okay to me. So let's take that same search and we'll label this one PubMed. I like to make it accessible. We'll label this one Embase X. And it's not formatted for Embase yet, so first of all we'll just do what Embase needs, which is replace the double quotes with single quotes and replace the TW. There are drug-specific field tags in Embase. Please check them out. Off the top of my head, I just know TIAW, TIABKWDE, that's title, abstract, keyword, descriptor, replace. Let's swap out the mesh terms for the Emtree term, which is simply amoxicillin. There is no narrower term. There it is. So we'll get rid of these two and replace them with Embase's Emtree term, and we'll copy that whole thing. And we'll go into advanced, unclick everything that's going to let this map. We don't want that. Paste it and search. And we're going to find a lot more results here because Embase has more drug literature and it's indexed better for drugs. So we got 134,000. I had been playing with this a little bit, so you'll see I had some other searches here, and then you'll see down here your index terms. So that's building a drug search with PubMed's Mesh, Embase's Emtree for PubMed, and Embase. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.